Michella Chester here for NCAA Digital. I've got Shannon Scovel here with me today, our D1 wrestling beat reporter, an expert in all things wrestling. Obviously, Shannon, the bracket just released, super exciting, heading into the NCAA tournament for D1 wrestling. Just so much to talk about. So let's get right into it. We're going to go through every single weight class and we're going to have some fun, make some predictions, talk about intriguing matchups, maybe some sleepers, and of course, make you choose your champions, which I know nobody wants to do, but we're going to have you do it. So let's start with 125. Obviously, Spencer Lee out of this weight class now really opens up the discussion. What do you see here? What are some intriguing matchups, sleepers? Just talk about this weight class in general.
Yeah, 125 is one of my favorite weight classes this year. There's just so much depth. There's a lot of storylines. Some guys that maybe didn't have the regular season that they wanted to, but are now looking to turn things around in the postseason. Obviously, leading 125 pounds right now at the number one seed, Michigan's Nick Suriano. He is on a mission to win another title. He won a title at 133 pounds for Rutgers in 2019. He's now transferred to wrestle for the Wolverines. They have team title aspirations, and Suriano is a big part of that. He was a key player in the Big Ten, and now he's looking to replicate that on the national stage. He's going to have some top contenders, though, in Vito Arujau from Cornell and Pat Glory from Princeton. And these two have such a fun rivalry. Pat Glory got the best of Vito in the duel, but Vito turned things around at the conference tournament. So he's coming in at the 2 seed. Lots of excitement between these three. But there's some other athletes definitely to watch. Iowa's got an interesting wild card going on in Drake Ayala, who's performed well in some duels this year, but he seems to be battling an injury. So we'll be interested to see how he plays out with this Iowa Penn State Michigan team race. So he's somebody to keep an eye out on. Pat McKee always keeps things interesting in the NCAA tournament. So lots of action going on at 125, and it's going to be a fun weight class to follow.
Absolutely. If you had to do it, I hate to make you do this, but who would be your champion pick?
I think it's hard to pick against Nick Suriano after the dominating performance that he had at the Big Ten tournament. I talked to him a little bit earlier this year, and he's so focused. He has one mission, and that's to dominate in March, is what he told me. And so I expect that he'll try to do that. It's going to be tougher to dominate some of these guys like Vito and Glory the way he dominated the Big Ten. But I think Soriano is the guy to beat at this weight.
All right, let's move on to 133. What do you see in this weight class? Storylines and any hypothetically intriguing matchups as the bracket goes on.
Yeah, 133, you have your NCAA finalists from last year, Dayton Fix returning, and you have your NCAA champion and Roman Bravo Young returning. These guys are going to want to make it back to Saturday night at the NCAA tournament, but there's some roadblocks they're going to have to get through on the way there. Obviously, Austin DeSanto of Iowa, always a tough matchup. He's kept things close with Bravo Young and Dayton Fix. And, Bravo Young's won a lot of matches against DeSanto lately, but who knows? I think wild things happen in March, and could this be DeSanto's year to top Bravo Young? We'll just all have to wait and see. But also in this weight, you've got Corbin Myers from Virginia Tech. He wants a title. He won the ACC. He's very strong. Lucas Bird out of Illinois, always a tough challenge. So there's a lot of players at 133, but right now it's Bravo Young and Dayton Fix on their own tier heading into the tournament.
And between those two, your champion pick?
Bravo won last year, so tough to pick against a champion. I think this Dayton Fix will keep it close, and he's definitely the favorite to take on Bravo Young. Bravo Young is so calm, though. You watch him wrestle in these big matches, and he's so relaxed. He's in control, and I think he takes home another title.
All right, let's move on to 141. What do you see in this weight class?
Oh, such a fun weight class. You've got defending champion Nick Lee, and this is a weight class where I'm going to go against what I said at 133. I'm going to pick against a champ, which is really dangerous and risky. But so you've got Nick Lee at one, Jaden Ironman from Iowa. He was a Big Ten champion last year. He was an NCAA finalist. He forfeited out of the Big Ten finals, so we didn't get to see him against Nick Lee in that event. We did see him fall to Nick Lee in the duel, but I'm actually thinking that Sebastian Rivera is potentially the title winner this year. He's coming out of Rutgers. He's been a 2-time Big Ten champ. He also medically forfeited out of the Big Ten tournament. But yeah, let's take Rivera here.
All right.
It's interesting.
I like it. I mean, that's the point of this, right? Predictions are for fun. We'll see how it goes. 149 next. Anything interesting here when you look at the bracket on this class?
Yeah, 149 is led by 2-time NCAA champion Yanni Giacomo out of Cornell. He won 2 titles at 141. He's up at 149. He solidified himself as the man to beat this weight when he beat Sammy Sasso at the Cliff Keen Invitational. So definitely look for Yanni to try to pick up his third title. He's looking like he's very capable of doing that. Somebody that to keep an eye on that really made some headlines out of the Big Ten tournament was Austin Gomez. He pinned Ridge Lovett in the semifinals of the Big Tens in 20 seconds. He's got incredible upper body strength. He's coming up to 149 after wrestling at 133 previously in his career. He's back now. He's wrestling for Wisconsin, and he just looks like he's having fun out there. So I look for Gomez to make some noise at the tournament. That's not a really radical choice, but because of his performance at the Big Ten. But yeah, he's absolutely an athlete to watch. Of course, Sammy Sasso, 2021 Big Ten champ. He's going to try to make a run too. He's looking for his first title. Got a lot of top tier talent at 149, but Yanni Diakomahalis right now, he's the guy to beat.
Is that your pick for who's going to win?
That is my pick. I would love to be, I would love to be some more storylines than just the number one seed taking home the title. We'll have to watch to see if that happens. But yeah, hard to pick against Yanni.
All right. 157, Shannon.
157, another returning champion, David Carr. Also dominating everybody he's wrestled. He's really bringing Iowa State wrestling back to where it was earlier in history. Classy guy, always champion on and off the mat. He's my pick to win 157, but Ryan Deacon coming out of Northwestern, he really wants a title. He didn't get a chance to compete in the finals last year after getting beat in the semis. He wants this to be his year. He proved that he's the man at the conference. So watch out for Ryan Deacon. And then you've got Ja'Cory Teamer trying to make some noise. So I'd say there's three guys leading this weight. But David Carr right now, number one seed, I'd expect him to take home the title again.
All right, I like it. 165. Now this one is absolutely loaded and so many possibilities here, so I'm excited to hear your take on it.
Yeah, so the easy pick at 165, if you have to pick a champion and you want to be safe, is Evan Wick. He's coming out of Cal Poly. He previously wrestled for Wisconsin. He's an All-American. He's looking just to be at the top of his game right now. Hard to pick against Evan Wick. However, there's a lot of interesting things going on at this weight. You've got Keegan O'Toole out of Missouri. He's a pinner, so he likes to keep things funky, really scramble and beat wrestlers on the mat. You've also got four-time Big Ten champion Alex Marinelli. He's come close. He's wanted this title for a long time. He's coming in at the number one seed before. This year, he's coming in at the number 3 seed. Marinelli has one more chance to win a title, and he wants this to be the year. Problem for Marinelli is that he's going to have to, if the bracket goes chalk, he's going to have to face Keegan O'Toole in the semis. And I think O'Toole's a tough matchup for Marinelli, just a style of clash of styles there. And then you've got Wisconsin's Dean Hamidi. He's another wild card. He also very funky wrestler, very fun to watch. He's a true freshman, so this tournament can sometimes be overwhelming for true freshmen. But Dean Hamidi seems to be really stepping up. So, if you want to take a wild pick, take Dean Hamidi. But I'm sticking with Wick for now until proven otherwise. But so much talent in this weight, not to mention Ohio State's Carson Karchula, who has a win over Marinelli, returning champion Shane Griffith. I mean, there's just so many possibilities here at 165.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I was so excited for that one. Let's move up to 174. Any intriguing possible matchups in this weight class?
So 174 is where I'm going to go a little crazy. You've got returning champion Carter Sirachi, and he has looked unbeatable this year. I mean, he's had some close matches, but he finds a way to win. That's what Carter Sirachi does. He said after he won the Big Tens, he believes he's the best in the world. And when you have that kind of confidence, you see results. So Sirachi's got a lot going for him. However, there's another returning champion in the mix, 2019 NCAA champion, 165 pounds, Mekhi Lewis, out of Virginia Tech. Mekhi Lewis just had a major win at the ACC Championships, beating Hayden Hidley, who beat him earlier in the season in a duel. I think Hidley reverses that result in this bracket. I think we see a Hidley-Lewis final. I think Hidley gets the win. The reason for that is Hidley's experience. He's been at this tournament a number of times. This is his last shot, and so you got a little senior magic going on there. Hidley's going to have to beat Sirachi in the semis if the bracket goes chalk. That's a really tough matchup for both guys, and it could go either way. I'm going to give Hidley the edge because he's a senior. Sirachi is going to be able to come back and win a few more if he doesn't win this year. Tons of options at 174. But Hayden Hidley's my pick out of NC State.
All right, I love that pick. That's a fun one. How about 184? So now I'm very interested here. I just talked to Miles Amin myself, and we've got a possible rematch going on here. I'm really excited for this weight class.
Yeah, Miles Amin is coming into the NCAA tournament with tons of confidence. He beat NCAA champion Aaron Brooks in the Big Ten finals. He won the team title for Michigan at the Big Tens. That was a huge win. So much momentum going in with the Wolverines' favor. But Aaron Brooks is all class, and when it comes to big matches, he steps up. He beat Miles Amin in the duel. He's going to look to beat him again in the NCAA tournament. Now, you're Miles Amin, you're a senior, you're trying to lead your team to a title. I think, given all of that, you find a way to beat Aaron Brooks again. Now, I'm not guaranteeing it's going to happen. Part of the fun is that, anything could happen. And I would love there to be a lot of storylines going on in this weight class. But yeah, I think Miles Amin gets it done. Now, another couple other people to watch in this weight. Hayden Hiley's younger brother Trent, he's wrestling up at 184. He was an NCAA finalist last year and kept things really close with Aaron Brooks. He is strong, he's fast, super athletic, and he is on a roll this year. He really would love to bring another title home to NC State. Very likely, he's got a strong possibility of being able to do that. Somebody else standing in the way in this weight from those three is Parker Keckheisen out of Northern Iowa. Doesn't compete in the Big Ten, doesn't compete in the ACC, so he doesn't see the same competition level as Amin and Brooks have seen against each other this year, but don't count out Keckheisen. He's definitely a contender.
All right, but we're going with Amin over Brooks again.
With Amin.
All right, I like it, Shannon. Okay, 197. I was looking at your notes. You've got just two national title contenders in this weight class. So what do you see in this one?
Yeah, 197 really up in the air. AJ Ferrari not competing. He won the title last year. He was, as the season was progressing, looking like an early lock. As much as anybody can be a lock in any weight class at the NCAA tournament. With Ferrari out, it's anybody's game. I think Maxine out of Penn State, he's wrestling in a new room. He has incredibly elite training partners in Aaron Brooks and Carter Starachi and heavyweight Greg Kirkfleet. So you have to figure Maxine's coming into this tournament ready. Penn State knows how to prepare those guys for big matches, and he's been in the NCAA finals before. So I think Maxine works his way into the finals, and who he takes on in the finals is a big question mark. Stephen Buchanan has the number 2 seed out of Wyoming. He's a strong competitor, definitely somebody that could make some noise. He's looking for his first title too. So I have him as a title contender against Maxine in the finals. I'll take Maxine because Penn State seems to find a way to win these big matches, and I've picked against Carter Starachi and Aaron Brooks. So we'll give Penn State the win at 197. That's going to be key for the team race as we head into heavyweight, where anything can anything can happen in the finals against Gable Stevenson. He's pretty much a lock to make the finals again, as much as anybody can be a lock. But I think Maxine puts up some points at Penn State at 197.
All right, giving Penn State some love. And lastly, 285, you just touched on it. Obviously, we've got Gable Stevenson. So anyone else that can give a run for it here, or is he just kind of a lock and pick?
Yeah, Olympic gold medalist, Hodge Trophy winner. You got to figure Gable Stevenson is going to make it Saturday night without too much trouble. He's bonused everybody so far this year. He's looked unbeatable. He just looks like he's having fun out there. He's wrestling his match, and nobody can really hang with him. Mason Paris was in the finals last year. He struggled a little bit in the Big Ten tournament this year. And so if you're a wrestler at heavyweight, you really want to be on the opposite side of the bracket as Gable Stevenson. There's a wrestler from Air Force that I'd like to draw people's attention to, Wyatt Hendrickson. He is so fun to watch. Not in the Big Ten, so again, doesn't get that kind of competition. He hasn't seen Gable Stevenson yet this year. He did wrestle him last year. When I talked to Wyatt about his experience wrestling Gable, he said, "You're going to see a different wrestler against Stevenson this year." So I don't know what to expect from that, but he's definitely put on a show so far out of the Big 12. Wyatt Hendrickson, super fun to watch. And we've also got Iowa's Tony Cassiope, and as I mentioned, team race is going to be really key here. Tony Cassiope is going to want to make the finals. Greg Kirkfleet's on the same side as Stevenson, so going to be really tough for him to make the finals, but we'll see what he can do. We'll see if he's got any March magic going on. And then Colton Schultz out of Arizona State. He's looked really strong in the Pac-12. He's the 2 seed. He's going to want a shot at Stevenson. So, these guys are all going to be fighting for that opportunity to take on the gold medalist and pull off the biggest upset of the year. It's going to be tough. Nobody's really come close, but everybody that has a seed has a shot. So it'll be fun to watch heavyweight play out.
Absolutely, and that just got me excited, that quote about different wrestler against Stevenson. So, Shannon, that does it. It's going to be a really exciting year. Thanks for making some hard picks there, and excited to see it play out.
Yeah, thanks so much.